Hey friend, welcome to Grounded, the vestibular podcast. I'm Dr. Madison Oak, aka the Vertigo Doctor. I am the vestibular physical therapist who is here to help you with all things dizziness, imbalance, and vertigo. In this podcast, we explore the fascinating world of vestibular disorders. Come with me as we dive headfirst into a journey to discover the mysteries of the brain, the inner ear, and the balance mechanisms that keep us grounded. Whether you've been managing dizziness for one day or 25 years, we're going to get real about what it takes to manage dizziness, handle the anxiety cycle, and thrive, not just survive, with your vestibular disorder. First, I want to remind you that this is never medical advice. Remember, this podcast is for informational purposes only and may not be the best fit for you and your personal situation. It shall not be construed as medical advice. The information and education provided here is not intended or implied to supplement or replace professional medical treatment, advice, and/or diagnosis. Always check with your own physician, medical professionals, and healthcare team before trying or implementing any information found here. Hello and welcome back to Grounded, my friends. Today we are talking about creatine supplementation for migraine and brain health. If you don't know, it is literally one of my very favorite supplements. I personally take 5 grams per day every single day. But of course, you can start small and work your way up, and we'll talk about why you should probably be taking it. But first is today's win of the week. I have 2 this week because I just could not decide. I have Jackie and then Josie. Jackie says, "This is the big one I've been working towards for years." Jackie's been a member for probably a year and a half or 2 years now. I went back to work full time in office, commuting over an hour a day, and I'm doing pretty well. When the triple PD came over 3 years ago, I thought this day would never come. And I don't think I could do it without Madison, Jenna, and this group. Forever grateful for you. This makes me so happy because it shows that managing your vestibular migraine, triple PD, she's dealing with a lot of stuff, does not come overnight. And I think a lot of people are looking for like the one thing that's going to fix this, the one thing that's going to make this possible. And that is never the thing. It is always all of the things over time, being consistent, going through the vestibular group fit content, sticking with it, even when you're like, oh my God, I don't want to. It's about consistency, friends, not motivation. And you will get back to all the things. So between VM, POTS, triple PD, all the things, Jackie made it back. And I'm so happy for you, Jackie. The next one is Josie. She says, I have adjusted well to our new routine back with my son at school. I've been able to take a nice walk around the neighborhood after I drop him off and then come home, do some work, get my exercise for the day in, and it feels so good to be consistent again after the summer. I also finished a real book. Early in my recovery, it was really difficult for me to read and even a few paragraphs in a paper book. Darting my eyes back and forth made me so dizzy, and moving them comfortably again took lots of practice. Saccades, tracking other VRT movements that I did consistently to my tolerance level all over the course of months, all in VG Fit. Now I can read a book for an hour at a time and not even notice. This vestibular neuritis triple PD warrior is killing it. And I'm so, so proud of you, Josie. I love that you're adjusting to new things and saying, hey, I'm darting my eyes around, and I did the exercises in VGF. We tell you how to dose things to tolerance very, very specifically. And I absolutely love this. So congrats to you, Josie. I cannot wait to see what you do next. You may remember her win from a couple weeks ago or a couple episodes ago, probably 6 or 7 episodes ago now, of her playing on the floor with her son as well and doing Legos. So all of the things are possible again, my friends. Okay. Today we're talking about creatine. We have a more in-depth creatine coverage, of course, in Vestibular Group Fit, which is where you're going to find everything that you could possibly ever want to know about your vestibular disorder, because it's important, right? It's important to manage us from a holistic point of view. But creatine is a really, really cool supplement, and it's consisting of 3 specific amino acids. Our body does make a little bit of creatine every day, about a gram a day, but we can load up our body with these amino acids for a more effective effect, basically. So it's the combination of 3 amino acids, which are L-arginine, glycine, and L-methionine. Wow, I'm not the best at pronouncing these words, but that's okay. And this can be used, this is actually the number 1 most researched supplement that exists on the market. It is used for muscle growth, energy, and health. You may have seen this for a long time with like your high school boyfriend who played football or something, or maybe a bodybuilder that you know. People have been taking creatine for a really, really, really long time, but it's for more than just muscle growth, which if you have a vestibular disorder and you have migraine and you are over the age of 30, you want to be building muscle. You want to be building muscle before that, no question in my mind, but especially over the age of 30 because your bone density starts to go down and we do not want that, especially if you're prone to falls, having a vestibular disorder. We don't want you to break things. Muscle growth is absolutely essential. I cannot stress this enough. It also improves muscle damage and repair. So it reduces muscle damage, it improves the repair time, it aids cognition. So it's been shown to reduce brain fog. And I also see this in vestibular group fit members who report back to me after trying it. It also improves your oxidation systems in your body and does a ton of other stuff too. But what we're going to focus on mostly is oxidative stress because stress and oxidative stress is the imbalance between free radicals in your body and antioxidants. So you may have heard like, eat your antioxidants, you should have your berries and whatever, which you 100% should. Berries are so good for you and they're low glycemic. But the increase of free radicals, which can come from inflammation, which every person with a vestibular disorder is dealing with, full stop, period. It helps deal with stress. It helps deal with exercise. It builds our bodies back stronger because we want some increase in free radicals. That's normal, right? If you exercise and you do muscle damage, which is not really damage, it's just how you tell your muscles to grow, then we need to build back. And that is through antioxidants. And creatine is a super, super, super strong antioxidant. Other antioxidants are vitamins A, C, E, minerals, copper, zinc, selenium. There's a bunch of other ones, but a diet high in fiber generally is good for this, but creatine does not come from plants. Creatine typically comes from meat sources. So especially if you're vegetarian or vegan, then creatine is going to be even more important to supplement for most people. But creatine ultimately maintains mitochondrial, your powerhouse of your cell. It maintains the integrity of mitochondria and it increases your resources for your cellular energy and it is protective of DNA and RNA basically from oxidative damage. So if you're having too many free radicals and you're getting this oxidative damage, which can damage your skin health, your hair health, your brain health, your muscular health, cellular health, all the things, you again want to be having more antioxidants in order to help with your free radical to oxidative stress ratio. Or free, sorry, I think I said that backwards. Antioxidants to free radical ratio. Now, creatine also helps with mitochondrial and energy storage. So if you are a person who has fatigue, who feels exhausted, who feels like they never have enough energy for anything, creatine supplementation can provide a therapeutic benefit for this as well. This is because your mitochondria, again, is the powerhouse of the cell, and we want to help the powerhouse of the cell power your cell, right? We do this through nourishing food, reducing the amount of processed or completely eliminating the amount of like processed food that you're having. We do this through strength training. We do this through taking magnesium. We do this in a lot of different ways, but creatine supplementation really does help this. I am passionate about this if you can't tell. The average dose is 3 to 5 grams per day. But I know some people who take more, some people who take less. It really just depends on you and your body. So start low, go slow, talk to your doctor first, of course. Chronic mitochondrial dysfunction is usually actually caused by slow changes that you don't notice over time until it gets bad in mitochondrial homeostasis, which then leads to an increase in things that we do not want. And therefore, creatine supplementation can improve clinical outcomes in the cases of mitochondrial dysfunction. It's also been shown to lower blood lipids like cholesterol and triglycerides in blood, slow down the development of fatty liver, which if you're in perimenopause, even if you do not drink, can be a thing for you. And it's been shown to lower your A1C. So if you're diabetic or pre-diabetic and you're like, I'm worried about my A1C, which everyone should be mildly concerned about their A1C. We don't want it going high. Creatine can be helpful for that as well. And it also improves just the clinical outcomes and progression of all metabolic syndromes, which a lot of chronic illness is as a result of metabolic syndrome. And also, one other fun little fact here is creatine might also be an important key in the rehab process of chronic fatigue syndrome, or CFS, and in long COVID patients. So they were given placebo or 2 or 4 grams of basically creatine and versus placebo, and they found the people who got the creatine did better. So also, specifically to the vestibular system, like I said, creatine has so much research. They even have research on the vestibular system, which is nearly unheard of. The creatine consumption may boost the sensitivity of the vestibular system and neurological performance. Effects on creatine consumption in the auditory system have not yet been examined. But boosting the sensitivity of your vestibular system could actually be a good thing, especially if you're a person with reduced, if you have a unilateral or bilateral vestibular hypofunction or something like that. Again, there is not specific research on that, but we can kind of extrapolate that, right? Also, consumption leads to enhancement of CVEMP amplitudes and reductions of latencies of thresholds, which means that creatine supplements improved sensitivity of saccule, so that's one of your otolith organs, and vestibulocervical reflex pathways in normal males. We suggest dietary administration of creatine may be beneficial to patients with vestibular weaknesses. So literally, you guys, that is from a manuscript, which I can link where I got this information in the show notes below. But seriously, it is amazing all the things creatine can do. It has a lot of science behind it. Again, it's the safest and most studied supplement basically on the market. And your mitochondria, especially for people with migraine, matter because a lot of migraine is not having enough energy in your cells. Therefore, we want to increase your mitochondria, increase basically that powerhouse of the cell, right? And reduce oxidative stress in your body, which creatine helps with. The dose, again, it varies. It could be as low as 1 gram a day, as high as 5 grams a day. Some people take more, some people take less. And of course, I'm going to tell you my favorite brand. My favorite brand is Live Momentous. They do not sponsor this episode, but they technically are affiliated with me, or I'm affiliated with them. It's livemomentous.com. I believe I will link it in the show notes. But I love Live Momentous. I take a lot of their supplements. I take their creatine. I take their omega-3 supplements. I think there's a couple other things that I take from them. Sometimes I'll take their L-theanine, just other things like that. But I specifically love their creatine. I will say creatine's a funky one because it generally isn't super dissolvable, but here's what I do. I mix my essential amino acids from a certain company that I get them from, and then my electrolytes from Just Ingredients, which I'm also affiliated with, which is the code Vertigo Doc at checkout if you want anything from Just Ingredients. And then code Vertigo Doc also for Live Momentous, which I do a scoop of creatine. So I do those 3 things together. I mix it together with my whipper, and then, which is just a milk frother basically. And then I just chug it as fast as possible. And then I drink more water afterwards because we all want water and most humans are dehydrated. So fill up your water bottle right here, right now, please. I'm begging you. I hope this is helpful. I hope this helps you understand why creatine is so important. Again, if you want to get it, it's from livemomentous.com, and you can enter the code VertigoDoc at checkout, and you will be getting a discount for that. Thank you so much for listening. You know where to find me at the Vertigo Doctor everywhere. I love ya, and I will see you next time on Grounded.